Today we are going to be assimilating a practice that's going to involve all of the postures that we have sort of studied in the last few weeks, studied, if you will, over the month of September. We're not going to stop our study now, but I thought it would be nice to take one day and sort of assimilate everything that we've been working on in our Back to Basics class. So if you're watching this later on a recording and you haven't checked out some of the earlier videos from the previous month, you may want to take a look at those Back to Basics and get a little deeper understanding of each one of them. But either way, it's just going to be a nice overall yoga flow. And so we're actually going to begin in Hero's Pose this morning. Hero's Pose was one of our Back to Basics. So we're going to start that for our pranayama practice. And if you have been following along with the Back to Basics, then I would encourage you to try to think about what we learned from each of the postures and use modifications as prescribed, as they feel good. And yeah, just see how much you can remember about what we're trying to incorporate in terms of ease and alignment and balance. So if that means bringing up a block or even two blocks underneath your hips, then please go ahead and do so. I'm actually bringing my ankles to the end of a blanket because my tops of my feet and my ankles need a little support this morning. So once you've accommodated for Hero's Pose, I invite you to close your eyes. Let your hands rest softly in your lap. And just start to drop into your body. Take a moment or two to arrive. Arrive in this space. Begin to notice your breath and let the seat of your body connect gently but very purposefully to the earth. Feel your tailbone lengthening down, drawing in through your abdomen, feeling that nice lock of energy in the lower core to support your lower back. And then once you have that in place, just allow the rest of your body to relax. Shoulders dropping down. Softening through your face. Releasing any tension in the brow, the forehead, your jaw. And as you arrive in this space, take a moment to feel grateful that whatever time you've carved out for yourself today, that it is meaningful and worthwhile. Notice your breath, the breaths that sustained you throughout your practice and your day. Feel the ease with which the breath moves in and out of your body. Elongate the inhale. Feel the lungs and heart expand. And elongate the exhale, releasing out anything that does not serve your higher purpose today. I'm going to sit here and take about 3 or 4 more breaths. Finding peace and solace in the stillness of your practice. Let's take one more breath here. Exhale and let it out. Allow your eyes to softly open. Bring your gaze forward. Offer yourself a little smile and welcome yourself to your practice. All right, let's move out of Hero's Pose, coming out of the posture with the legs tucked under. And we're going to go ahead. You can come off of the props and extend your legs down long. So sitting down on your mat with your legs nicely extended. Maybe even rub the tops of those thighs if that was a little bit of a stretch on the quadriceps. Sometimes it feels good just to rub those thighs. And then from here, we're going to actually bend the left knee. We're going to cross the left foot over the right knee, and we're going to encourage the left foot to come back toward the right hip. So my left leg is on the top of my right leg. Knees are roughly on top of each other, or if they don't fit, quite that far, you can just cross the leg over like so. But if you can bring that left foot back to your hip, you're going to get a nice internal rotation on the left hip. So from here, we're actually just going to fold forward and allow yourself to softly drop into and toward your knees. So you don't have to stretch or extend. You can let your legs be soft and just feel that nice bit of stretch on the outside of the right hip. Letting your head and body drop forward. And just begin to relax down, letting the weight of the body slowly drop forward. Relax into your shoulders. And then come back to your breath. Just start to feel into all the sensations that are traveling in and around your hips, maybe into the low back. And then just start to gently move your chin from side to side. Get a little bit of motion in the neck. Just gently turning your head from side to side. And then maybe starting to involve the chest and shoulders. So just getting a little organic movement, stretching the spine, turning from side to side. Maybe even starting to create a little circle with the ribs. So just kind of circling down, dropping it, lifting and rotating around. Just really nice and soft. And come on up. Keep your legs where they are. Lift all the way up to the top. Bring your left hand across. Bring your right hand behind, and then just take a tiny little twist to the right. Again, really soft and gentle these first few movements. Breathe. Relax. Feel free to move into that neck again if it feels good, to kind of stretch the side of the neck back and forth. And then come on back to the center. Uncross the left leg, and we'll take that to the other side. Crossing the right leg over the top and seeing if you can guide the right foot back toward the left hip. Find your ease. Remember, honor your body for where it is today. All in different places, and that's okay. Sometimes my body is in a different place than it was yesterday. Be here and now and present for yourself. So as we cross that right leg over, we're just just going to let that body fall forward. So your torso is just gently rolling forward, dropping down little by little. And use your breath to gauge the appropriate place to stop and just feel into the sensation of this stretch. Feels good. You can turn your chin from side to side, maybe even involve the rib cage, turning a little bit, stretching up and around. And again, sometimes it feels good just to create little tiny circles with the torso, offering yourself a loving touch and a gentle stretch. On back up to the top, elongate through the spine, lift up, cross your right hand over, left hand comes behind, and just a tiny little stretch again to the left. Very sweet this morning. Offer yourself some sweetness. A couple more breaths. Back to the center. In the same seated position, we're going to come into our second pose that we've studied, which was Baddha Konasana. So come onto your sits bones. Decide if maybe you want to bring a blanket underneath your seat. As I do, I'm going to bring a tiny edge of a blanket underneath my seat. I'm going to let my knees drop open to the side, and then I'm going to pull the feet in toward the groin. And I don't mean pull like yank them in. I mean, I'm just going to encourage my feet to come toward the groin and decide where it feels best for your hips this morning. Remember to let those sits bones roll back. So we're actually sitting a little bit forward of the sits bones, and this helps to support the lumbar spine, and you'll feel the pelvic area tilt forward. You'll feel the knees and the hips then be able to open and drop a little more easily. Lifting up through the abdomen, so feel a lift from the pubic bone up to the navel. Relax your shoulders. Press your soles of your feet gently together. Lifting up and breathing. Hands can be sitting on your shins. They can be down at your feet, but just let your shoulders and upper body relax. I'm going to take 5 breaths here. Again, being very grateful for our practice this morning. Whatever time you're able to offer yourself during the day, whether it's 5 minutes, 15 minutes, an hour, it doesn't matter. What matters is that you are fully present during that time. So feel your seat grounded down toward the earth. Begin to open, your back lengthening up. Take 2 more breaths here. All right. At the end of that breath, start to lift your knees up to the center. Bring your feet up on the mat. Just let your knees be open and wide. Give it a couple of windshield wiper openings side to side. Just getting a little motion now in the hips, waking everything up. Nice. And then bring your feet to the mat. We're going to press up onto our feet, so you can bring the blanket or whatever might have been underneath your seat off the mat. Come on to your toes. Lift up and lengthen through your spine. Coming up to fingertips or bringing your hands to your blocks. From here, we're going to go ahead and stand. So start to straighten your legs. Bring your feet hip distance apart and come to Uttanasana, forward fold. Let your head hang down. Root down through all four corners of your feet, but lift up through the lower core. Remember, your support in Uttanasana comes from the core as we hinge forward and down from the hips. Take a deep breath in, come up to fingertips and lengthen through your spine. Exhale and forward fold. Those knees can be soft. They don't have to be perfectly straight. Inhale, we're going to plant those feet down, raise the arms out to the side, lift up strongly using the hinge action of the hips as we rise all the way up to Urdhva Hastasana, upward facing hands. Take a deep breath in, both sides of your body lengthening up to that beautiful blue sky. And then exhale, arms out by the side. Once again, hinge from your hips and fold. From this folded position, we're going to step back to a downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Remembering how we studied downward dog, planting the hands down and rooting through all 10 fingers, pressing from the thumb and the index finger to allow support to rise up through the arms, widening through the shoulder blades, and then extending your hips up and back as we pull the spine as far away from the ends as we can, like pearls on a strand. Deep breath in, pull that belly in, exhale, push the thighs toward the back. Let's take a couple of walking dogs here, bending one knee and then the other, lifting up the ankles, just really moving slowly. Whatever organic movement seems to serve you best. Wonderful. From downward facing dog, we're going to roll forward to a plank and then go ahead and drop the knees down, coming to tabletop position. Hands still rooting down just as they were for down dog, lifting up through the upper back. Tabletop position has a nice strong spine. From tabletop, drop that belly down and take it to cow. And then exhale, bring it up into cat. Inhale to cow. Exhale to cat. Again to cow. Exhale to cat. Coming back to tabletop position. Lift the knees up and press back again to downward facing dog. Maybe a little bit more extension this time through the spine. Deep breath in. Exhale. Once again, come forward to a plank position. We're going to lower down to the belly. So practicing our chaturanga move, you can either come down from a full plank or you can drop those knees, but we're going to support the upper body as we descend slowly down, coming to the chest. Once we're in a prone position, we're going to lift up and come into a small cobra. So we're going to press down through the pubic bone, activate the abs, reach the neck forward so the crown of the head is reaching forward toward the front of the mat. Tuck those elbows in, find your stability through the core. Exhale, release it all down. Inhale, press yourself back up to table, and then into child's pose. Our refuge pose where we can reset, restore, and find our ease. So let your chest fall down between the knees. Let your tailbone curve gracefully down to the earth. And you can bring those arms behind the body if you wish, if you want to release your shoulders a little bit more. And then allow your forehead and third eye to rest on the earth. 2 more breaths here. One more. All right. As you're ready, you can slide your hands forward. Come back up to all fours position. We're going to bring the right foot forward between our hands as we start to move a little bit more into some flows. Lifting the left knee back up, coming to lunge position. Left leg back, hands on the mat or on the blocks. Lengthen the crown of the head forward and lift up through the back of that left thigh. Right foot is planted and my knee is tracking directly over my ankle. Take one more breath in. Exhale. And then we're going to let that left heel come down as we lift up into Warrior One. So left heel is down now, lifting up through the core body. We're using that strength. First, bring your hands just to your waist instead of bringing them all the way up. And let's remember the fundamentals of really where we're gathering strength and stability from that left leg. So feel yourself pressing down through the outside of the left ankle. Take a look at your right knee and pretend that there's an arrow on your thigh directly forward. Now lift up through your chest, open the heart, and now as you're ready, lift the arms up. Exhale, chest open. One more breath. Exhale. And then from this position, we're going to transition to a high lunge. So if you'll recall, the difference in a high lunge and the Warrior One is that the hips are going to be able to square themselves as we lift that left heel up and now turn that left hip more toward the front. So now we've got square hips to the front. Everything else was the same as Warrior One. From high lunge, go ahead and step all the way forward and then lift those arms up. Exhale and forward fold. Inhale, lift up once again, reaching the arms out, up and overhead. Exhale, step back again with the left foot, just as before, right back into Warrior One. So Warrior One legs, go right back into your warrior position. Deep breath in. Exhale, bring your hands down, hands at your waist. We're going to straighten the right leg. Moving from Warrior One to Pyramid Pose, Parsvottanasana. As before, lifting up through the spine, making sure that your right knee is directly forward. Left heel is down. As you start to fold forward, the pivot point is at your hips. So we're lengthening the chest forward and releasing only so far as you feel comfortable. Remember, you can reach for those blocks at any time and bring your fingertips to blocks. Crown of the head is reaching forward. Don't look down at your knee or your foot. Keep looking forward in front of your mat. Slightly shift the left hip forward and the right hip back. Beautiful. Go ahead and bend your right knee now and bring your hands down to the mat. Slide the right foot back. Take it to one downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward, knees down, and take a resting breath in child. Balasana. Deep breath in. Restore and reset. Right. Come on back up to all fours position and bring the left foot forward as we move through that sequence to balance out the other side. Come to runner's lunge to begin. We'll establish our foundation. Connect to our breath. Feel yourself strong and steady in the core. And then from runner's lunge, we're going to drop that right heel down as we prepare for Virabhadrasana 1. Lifting up. First, just bring your hands to your waist again. Let's remember those foundations. Feeling the activation on the outside of that right ankle. Check your knees tracking forward. My hips can be slightly off the center, but my heart needs to turn directly toward the front. So just a little bit of a twist. So the heart is facing forward. And then open that chest as you're ready. Lift those arms up. Deep breath in. Exhale. And then moving into high lunge from warrior. All we're going to do is lift that right heel up and pivot the right hip now directly forward. Left knee stays in exactly the same place. One more breath. And then step that right foot forward. Arms reach up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale and forward fold. From forward fold position, we're going to step back one more time with that right foot. We're going to lift up again to warrior one. So another pass through on warrior one. And this time we're going to use this warrior one position to transition to Parsvottanasana. So straighten the left leg, bring your hands to your waist. Establish those nice strong legs. Right foot again, pointing up to the right corner of the mat. Lift up through the spine and start to lengthen through both sides of your body as you bring the crown of the head forward and hinge from your hips. Remember, this is called intense side stretch. So think about lengthening both sides of your body. As you reach that head forward, bring your hands to the blocks anytime you are ready. Deep breath in. Exhale. And then bend the left knee. Bring your hands all the way down to the mat. Slide the left leg back. Downward facing dog gives you a full body stretch. Inhale, come on down to the knees and take it back for 3 breaths in child. Just treating yourself oh so sweetly this morning. Being present and grateful for your practice. One more breath. Exhale. Right, and continue now, coming up on hands and knees. As before, bring the right foot forward and lift the left leg up. From this position, go ahead and drop that left ankle down. We're going to lift up to warrior, but this time it's going to be warrior 2. So as we lift up, swing that left arm around. Hips now are open to the left side of the mat. Arms reaching east and west. Body a beautiful plumb line in the center. Deep breath here. Exhale. Straighten the right leg. This time we're going to move into triangle pose by pushing that left hip toward the back of the mat and reaching the right arm forward, extending through the lower ribs. Reach those ribs and your right hand forward. And then bring it down, letting the left arm simultaneously rise up. Keep pressing down through that left ankle. Left leg is firmly planted. Beautiful triangle. Keep your neck extending forward. One more breath. And then lift back up. Turn on your right foot, pivot on your foot. Bring your hands to your waist and let's fold forward in Prasarita Padottanasana. A beautiful forward fold. Lifting up through those inner thighs. Lengthen through your spine as you come up to fingertips. And then exhale, forward fold again. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale and fold. Walk your hands around to the front of your mat. Come back to a lunge position and then step the left foot forward. Uttanasana, forward fold. Lift all the way up. Reach those arms out to the side, up and overhead. And then hands down to your heart. Moving into yet another pose that we studied. We're going to come into tree pose. So root down through the right foot. Really planting those tree roots. Offering a little bit of openness in the right knee. And then turn your left knee out. Externally rotating the left hip. Decide if you want to keep that toe on the floor. Lift it up onto your calf. Or maybe bring the left foot into the inner thigh. As you find tree pose this morning, remember to keep lifting up through the entire length of the spine. Breathe and find calm and peace at your center. Beautiful. If you'd like to raise your arms, open those beautiful branches. Very nice. Bring your hands back down, lower your left foot. Inhale your arms up. Exhale, dive forward. And from here, we'll step back with the right foot. Dropping the right heel down, we're going to move right into Warrior Two on the other side. So lift up, open those arms. Hips now open to the right side. Plant yourself down through that right ankle. If anything, sometimes I think it's helpful to kind of push your weight a little bit toward the back, because I think we all tend to try to reach forward like there's someplace we gotta go. But really we need to stay balanced. So left knee is forward. And then straighten that left leg as we move into triangle from here, pushing the right hip toward the back. And then extending those left ribs and fingers forward. Extend as far as you can, and then let that left hand float down, right arm floats up. Keep the neck nice and long. You can look straight toward the side. It's probably better to look toward the side than to look down. I think that helps keep the alignment in the neck. One more breath. And then lift back up. Turn on your left heel. Hands are going to come to your waist. Lift all the way back up. Pivot on your feet. And then fold forward into wide leg forward fold. Prasarita Padottanasana. Inhale, come up to fingertips. Exhale fully and fold. Inhale and lift. Turn and walk your hands over to the front, momentarily just stepping into a lunge so that you can take your right foot all the way forward. Uttanasana, forward fold. Plant those feet down, lift up, upward facing hands, and then exhale, hands to heart, in Tadasana, mountain. Moving into our beautiful tree, left foot plants down and roots, right knee turns out to the side. Find your stability, and then express yourself in the tree of your choice this morning. Breathe and find peace and calm at your center. Anytime you're ready, or if you like, you can reach your arms out. Remember, if you're practicing this at home and you want a wall or a support, you can always use that as well. Deep breath, beautiful, invigorating. And then bring your hands down, bring your right foot down. Inhale, arms up, and one more time, dive forward and fold. Beautiful, forward fold position. Go ahead and bend your knees. Allow your seat to come on down to the mat, so gently help yourself down. Walk your hands behind you. We're just going to roll all the way back and come to our back. Beautiful. Come on down. Oh, that's nice. We're going to finish up with our final basic posture that we already studied by planting our feet down on the mat and bringing the hands by your hips, moving into Setubandhasana, bridge pose. Remember, if your fingers can touch or come near your heels, that's where we're going to start with the alignment, and then you're going to roll and press the outside of the shoulders and shoulder blades down on the mat. So our two anchor points are the feet and the shoulder blades for bridge pose. Keep your head and gaze facing upward. Please keep your neck in that alignment without turning your neck in bridge pose. And then take a pelvic tilt, rolling the pubic bone up to start. Then begin to lift your hips, letting the two hip points raise themselves, coming straight up toward the ceiling, activating the quads, pushing the knees forward over the feet, and then pressing down even further into those shoulders as the back of the heart lifts up. Breathe here. We're going to hold this for 3 breaths. Strong and steady, my body is a bridge. One more beautiful breath. Exhale and come down, rolling one vertebra at a time until the back comes all the way down to the floor. Let's hug both knees into the chest. You can wrap your arms around those knees. Take a deep breath in. And then go ahead and lift both feet up to the ceiling. Letting the legs widen, we're going to come to happy baby. Bringing your hands either to the shins or your ankles, maybe even the outside of your feet, depending on how open those hips are. And then let those knees fall down toward the armpits. Just enjoy this for a moment, feeling the earth's massage on the spine. Relax your shoulders down. And then if you want to rock and get a little motion, you can roll from side to side. Your inner happy baby letting itself out today. You can smile. Feel good. Nice. And bring the feet together. Bring the feet down to the mat once again. We're going to open our arms into a T off the shoulder. Slightly scoot your hips over to the right side, just an inch or two, and then let your legs fall over to the left, stacking your thighs and your knees and creating a supine twist. So your right shoulder stays on the mat, you're still gazing upward. Open and feel the right side body. Get a beautiful stretch into the lungs, the liver. Relax that shoulder down, and if it feels appropriate and you'd like to drop your right ear a little closer to the earth, then you can extend that spiraling twist up to the neck. Into the stretch. One more breath here. Bring your head back up to center. If you had your neck turn, engage through your abdomen so that you can pull your legs up to the center without any without putting too much strain on the lower back. And then bring your hips center once again and scoot them over an inch or two to the left this time. And then let your legs fall over to the right. Again, you're stacking your knees and thighs. So if it feels better, you can press your knees a little further toward the front of your mat if that takes a little less strain. Or if you want to tuck them in higher near your heart, then that's going to be a little bit more intense. So just find that sweet spot where it feels like the right amount of twist for you. Relax into that left shoulder. And then soften as you feel your left ribs and lung open and expand. Everything back to center. Remember, pull in through your lower core to support that lower back as you bring the knees back up to center. Straighten your spine so everything is nice and square on the mat. Go ahead and extend your legs down the mat. Bring your hands by your side. Move into a nice position of ease and comfort for Shavasana. Just taking a moment and really scanning your body, establishing what you feel, and if there are any areas that you still notice tension or resistance, use this time to mindfully send your breath to those areas and coax them to relax and release. This morning in our Shavasana, I would invite you to feel your deep connection to the earth. Grounding presence of the earth's surface beneath you, keeping you safe and secure no matter what stresses of life tend to push you one way and then the other. Feel as if your entire body is being held and supported. You feel this grounding presence. It allows you to let go, giving yourself over to a higher power and energy. And breathe into that feeling. Perhaps repeating the mantra to yourself. I am grounded. I am grounded. I am grounded. Deeper breath back into the body and out. As you're ready, you can bend your knees, hug your knees into the chest. Creating some small circles with the knees to massage the lower back. Reversing them around the other way. And then as you're ready, lift your head up. Begin to rock back and forth. Help yourself back up to a seated posture. Come on back to your seat. Find a comfortable seat. Lift up through your spine. Bring your hands to your knees. And then turn your chin toward your left shoulder. Keeping your shin parallel to the ground. Take a breath in, extend through your spine, and then as you exhale, draw the chin across the chest. Let your head dip down. Feel that nice stretch on the back of the neck. And then inhale, bring the chin up and look toward the right. Exhale, bring the chin across and bring it up. Looking toward the left. Once again, dropping it down, drawing a beautiful smile across the collarbones. Looking right, and this time just bring the chin down to the center. Let your head drop. Let the weight of your head drop forward. Feel that stretch on the back of your neck. Take a deep breath in. Relax. Lift your chin up to center and then lift it up to a 45-degree angle, pushing the chin forward. Feeling that stretch underneath the chin all the way down to the center of your neck. And then bring everything back to neutral. We'll raise our arms up, lift them overhead. Close practice with a beautiful prayer for the day. May you have peace of mind and peace of heart, and carry that with you throughout this beautiful Sunday. Bring hands to heart, bowing in Anjali Mudra. The light in me is honored and grateful for the light within you all. Thank you so much for practicing with me. Om Shanti and Namaste. Thank you. I'll see you next time. Thanks, Namita. I'm glad you made it.
Yes, my husband is not well, so I was, and he's very